I need to interview tattoo artists. That's what I need to do.
Dude, yeah.
I'll start doing some tattoo marketing so I can get some more ink done.
Yeah, I need to get some actual ink. I have one tattoo right here.
What are you, freaking suicidal?
No,
Why
it
the
was just
hell? I mean, I've heard about the tip of a penis. I've heard the inner thighs. I've heard under the your inner lip, dude. That must have
yeah.
been one hell of a drug party.
It was one hell of a hurt party, I'll tell you
No
what.
doubt. That's what I'm saying, man. That is nuts.
Yeah.
I have tattoos. I want to cover up and get, everything. I want a tattoo of me just with more muscles and bigger.
On
Um,
yourself.
on myself. But I mean, I'm addicted to them. I love them. I've been getting them for
Yeah.
years. But yeah, not in the lip, man.
Yeah. It
And
was
not the
weird.
armpit either. I mean, my areola is going to be hard enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had to break out the areola instead of nipple.
I always prefer that word.
Areola or nipple?
Areola. It's
Yeah.
it's a little less like dirty, but yet it's you mention it and you're like, hey, let me look at your areola.
Oh
And
yeah,
you're like,
dude.
wait.
No, there are some words we talked about this that you say and people just go, "Oh, that is so disgusting." It's like my sister-in-law, she hates the word moist. Even moist brownies just freaks her out. She just hates that term and I'm like, "You're a nurse. You see gunshots, stabbings, all this stuff, but the word moist really grates you." And I swear like a sailor, even though I'm not in the Navy or never have been. But they're just, areola just sounds dirtier to me than nipple. I mean, nipple's like, oh yeah, a nipple. All of a sudden it's like, hey, you have very large areolas. It's like, oh my god, dude, why are you so perverted?
Why do you have to go that far?
I've got my coffee cup, and yes, it really is that big. It is,
Nice.
it's Bubba.
I got my water cup. Standard
Bubba
issue.
is I think 32 ounces of pure caffeine love. And yeah, I got the water back up too. Got to dilute that crap, man, or I'll go stir crazy.
Yep.
Well,
So what are we
welcome
doing
to
today, man?
the SEO show. Welcome. We always start off just not paying attention to the audience. Hello, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. That is Byron Lee.
What's up?
And I am Frank Schwartz. And we're glad you came by. We talk SEO, SEM, PPC, anything that has to do with better rankings for you and me, and Byron.
Yes.
Let's see. Can I break out the new announcement I got about an hour ago?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, Cloudflare. Don't know if you know them. Don't know if you use them. If you don't, you should. And if you do, check your emails, check your spam folders. Google announced that HTTPS is going to be a ranking factor because Google likes security and wants everything encrypted so that you are SOL when it comes to SEO. But now they are saying it's about a 1% ranking factor influence in the algorithm, slowly being rolled out to see how it's going to go. So we were just talking about this yesterday with the SMEZ guys, and they were like, hey, and if you guys hear, lawn care equipment outside, I'm sorry. And no, I don't pay for lawn care. I live in an apartment, but it's getting noisy on my end. Yeah, they were talking about, don't freak out about it, and I agree, don't freak out, especially if it's only a 1% factor in your ranking. There's so many more important things. But I love Cloudflare. I use them a lot for different things that we can mention later. But yeah, check out the article. Actually, what I'll do is let me grab the article, and the funny part is it's googleonlinesecurity.blogspot.co.uk. So even Google didn't release this on their main Google blogs. as far as I've seen yet. I just got the one from Cloudflare, but I'm going to open up the chat and just so everybody. Oh crap! I can mark that as spam. No, I actually can't. I will actually put it in the Showcase app. So in the top corner, if you want to play with it, it will be in the Showcase app so you can see it. And they're calling it HTTPS as a ranking signal, blah, blah, blah. There we go. All right, and that's about it. I just wanted to give everybody a heads up, look at it, see what you think. But don't freak the F out quite yet, guys. Just pay attention. Okay, well, that was me with my rant.
All right, all right. I thought that Google had like shut down or something for a little bit there.
No, not
No,
not
not
yet,
that.
not again. Hey, you know, it can happen again.
Yeah, yeah.
I looked up. I looked up last night because somebody said that maybe Google was busy looking at other things and wasn't ranking their website or their videos or whatever. So I just randomly said, "How many servers does Google have?" And it's a hidden secret. They won't announce how many, but they have hinted to other things. So everybody's at about 1.5 million servers, and that includes YouTube. So, yeah, 1.5 million servers. I don't really think they should be down that long.
Oh no, I mean you'd think there was quite a redundancy there.
Would it be redundant if I said redundant?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Hey, man, it's Friday.
Mm-hmm. Just chilling.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a week. We did some serious hardcore video editing yesterday, so eyeballs and eardrums are fried. And
Nice.
I want to see if I can get Avenged Sevenfold to give me permission to use their Scream soundtrack, or the song Scream, as part of our intro to our show.
Dude, that would be awesome. I saw on Facebook that you were listening to him, and I'm like, wow, Frank's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Dude, if it's not heavy, then it's not music. There are just sometimes, I can chill with Yanni. Don't get me wrong. I've got Yanni albums, and I scare people when I say that, and I've got my rap, and I've got my gangsta, and I've got all my other stuff. But I get in the car, it's Avenged Sevenfold, Five Finger Death Punch, old school Ronnie James Dio.
I grew up with a lot of country, and so around here, so I do listen to it, but it's like 95% metal and 1% country, and then probably 4% rap. Pop-ish,
yeah,
so
it's
just a mixture.
You're a fan of the Slash, and I grew up when I was a teen when GNR came out and everything, and of course they were in the CD and tape deck, but it's just when they kind of broke up, it's just been like if I hear "Knocking on Heaven Door" one more time, I'm gonna bash somebody's brains in. It all went to shit with the spaghetti incident, so
yeah.
I was just like, come on. But I'll still dig on some Welcome to the Jungle if it's on and I'm not able to switch channels.
Oh yeah, if you're not able to. Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm like, where's the remote? I need the remote. Listen, what the hell is WMT? Weapons of mass traffic?
Weapons of mass traffic. No, it's Webmaster Tools.
Oh my God! So this is going to be the Google show.
This is going to be the Google show. There's a whole suite of tools, Google and non-Google, that Frank and I use to rank not rank our sites, but monitor our rankings and keywords and progress and for ourselves and clients.
And how would you go about finding the WMT?
Well, the best way is go to Google and search Google Webmaster Tools, and I think it's the first one. I don't even know the URL.
you know, and that's the same way you find it in Bing, is
Yep.
because I never remember these.
Well, and
I
honestly, I think the URL is this big nasty thing. It's really not google.com/WMT. It might be. I should just try that, but it's a pretty nasty URL from what I remember.
You can go to google.com/webmasters/tools,
Oh, okay.
then /home HL equals EN, and all that other El Crapo. But yeah, google.com/webmaster should get you pretty daggone close. So try that. That was incredibly loud.
Yeah, that was my blinds. Apologies for the
Blinds,
massive.
what are they made out of? Aluminum?
They're made out of wood.
Holy crap, that's the loudest
Yeah,
wood I've ever heard.
yeah. So let's see. What do we? I do have a list of tools here, and we could go over them and kind of talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, first, so what do you use in Webmaster Tools? I mean, I know I take advantage of obviously the sitemap submission and monitoring the messages and the crawl errors and things like that. Is that about what you look for too?
Yeah, once I've set up a site in the Webmaster Tools, submitted a sitemap, I literally probably check once a month, once every 3 months. I mean, because normally there's not many errors because I'm not like deleting URLs. Plus, we've got some 301 redirect plugins that we use, and 404 redirects. So, I mean, for them to come up and say, "Oh my God, your site's gone," is few and far between. So going over and sitting on it, I mean, because I just pulled it up, I just wanted to see if I've got. I mean, I no, I don't check it a whole lot after I do a submission, and I let them crawl, and because I'm not dying to have that thing, that instant gratification of, oh, my site's ranking. Most of
Yeah.
the stuff that I'm doing is background, and I'm doing that just because Google wants to know that it's there. So I'm just following their rules and regulations to get my site indexed. When I put something on or I build pages or whatever, I go and ping it. I have an automatic pinger built on into WordPress, and it goes and says, "Hey, there's a new page," and then they're notified. I don't need to rank that. I'm not doing a launch jacking with 90% of my stuff, so I don't need today. I mean, now if I'm doing video, yeah, I'm all over it, but I don't use Webmaster Tools for that.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, and yeah, I have tools like that as well for WordPress and everything, and pinging sitemaps and uploading and all that. So Webmaster Tools, it's more of a thing that I do for clients. It's just kind of a policy thing. I just set it up, or at least make sure that they have it, and I go in, check out what's in there, make sure they have sitemaps. I can tell right away if like there's major issues going on. But other than that, it's not like I'm refreshing Webmaster Tools. It is like a once every month, maybe once every couple weeks if it's a big client, and I'm really monitoring shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. When you start new with a client, yeah, I'll be in there more often. But typically, unless I'm going to be using it in their reporting or in a presentation or anything like that, it to me it's almost a set and forget.
Yeah.
I'm using Google's keyword planner, AdSense, analytics, things like that more often. Just like Bing Webmaster Tools, yeah, I submit sitemaps to them too. They may be a very small percentage of search, but if you know the demographics that are using Bing, they're power players too. They're almost like LinkedIn. People are like, no, Bing doesn't. And yes, Bing has from what I've seen, an older audience. It's just that my mother-in-law, she still has her home screen set to MSN.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, and you probably have Yahoo Mail. And she goes, yeah, I do. And I go, oh, boy. Yes,
Well,
that's.
it is strange. I do work for several clients that, I mean, they get 20% up to 30% of their organic search volume from Bing. And so it does become important, but it's not like I'm optimizing for Bing. I always optimize for Google, and Bing just kind of, Bing's actually easier to rank for than Google, at least in my experience. And you get that maybe 45 plus crowd, or I'm not really sure, but it seems like products that are related to like retirement age or and stuff like that, they literally are on Bing. I think because of the leftover MSN, all that stuff that's on people's home pages now was 5, 10 years ago, and it redirects to Bing now, and the live Hotmail and all that.
Well, no, and that's it. And they're not on the cutting edge of technology, and they don't want to change something and break it because 7 years ago they did change it, and when they
Yeah.
changed it, it took 6 months to get somebody to help them in tech support fix it. So then tech support went in and said, MSN.com or Yahoo.com, and just set their stuff through a remote desktop, and these people are like, no, I'm hands off. So when they do a search, believe it or not, they're probably in Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who's hooked up with Internet Explorer? I mean, I'm like, why aren't you using Firefox? Why aren't you using Chrome? I mean, I've got a new one I'm playing with right now that it's Pale Moon.
Oh,
It's
sounds
a
like a beer.
yes, that's what I thought at first when they said use Pale Moon, and I was like, please, no, but it's a stripped down Firefox. It didn't update over to the Chrome framework, which is Google.
Ah.
And Mozilla is using the Chrome, I think, Bootstrap, and so they're reporting to Google more information than I want, and I literally use 6 or 7 browsers when I'm doing rank checking,
Yeah.
and that's just so I can see what's going on. Got the VPN because even though some of the sites or all of the sites are site mapped to Google, they're site mapped to Bing. I don't give Google all my information. I don't submit everything. I let them kind of stumble upon some of the sites that we do. But yeah, client sites, yeah, we're all over that, and it seems sometimes it's hard to understand all of the information that can be there, especially for some new people, and you get some crazy ass messages from them that just I think I got one that said I had to switch over to a universal thing, and I'm like, I haven't even heard of this before, and it took me longer to find out what this universal. It was the universal Java update when that came out, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? I mean, I spent most of my day with it, and I'm like, you know what? That's why I'm not looking at their damn messages anymore.
Yeah. Absolutely. Cool. Well, yeah. Let me pull up my list here, and we can kind of just go over them. I'll do like a little screen share thing. Hopefully it works out.
And I want to know what the people out there in the viewer world, what you guys are using, what you guys are doing. Because I'll tell you what, I was as a plugin for my sites, I was using Piwik,
Yeah.
and then I was told use StatsPress. It's one of those because it does virtually the same thing, and it's a smaller resource hog than Piwik is. And what I liked, I love Piwik because it has pretty colors and graphs and all that stuff. Once the first time you set it up, it's a pain in the butt, but then afterwards, you're smacking these sites up left and right, and it's just a universal plugin, and it's really informative. And I like that better than finding out my traffic sources with Google Analytics and all that, because I can do it right on that site. I don't have to log out and clear caches and all that stuff. So what's your list, my man?
Beautiful. All right, Bull. All right. Let's see here. All
Welcome to
right.
Byron Lee's Power Presentation, brought to you by.
Welcome to it. Brought to you by H2O.
Yeah, hey, you know what? My wife's a real power user with this presentation stuff. I am not. I need to be,
Yeah.
but I am not.
Yeah.
I'm going to
I
lock
don't.
the screen onto you so you can
Okay,
do your
sounds good.
thing.
Everything coming through because I put it full screen so I can't see if we got problems or not.
I see it. Free
Okay.
SEO tools list.
Sweet. Well, here we go. All right. So this is kind of what I got. Obviously, we already talked about webmaster tools, Google and Bing. And everybody knows what analytics does. You know, we could dive into the ins and outs of analytics whenever we wanted in a future episode, but there's a few other tools that you guys may not know about. This Xenu or XENU, however you say that, it basically allows you to create cool sitemaps and monitor broken links, and that's why I use it. It's kind of an old school tool. Now I know that a lot of sites and WordPress sites, they have all that built in and it's all generated. But if you're not running on WordPress, these are some cool tools to use. Screaming Frog SEO Spider lets you view all the pages, all the titles, H1s, everything like that. Again, a little bit old school, but if you've got like all-in-one SEO or Yoast or something on WordPress, it pretty much does the same thing. But a lot of tools I use are the SEO book free tools. Frank, do you use any of those?
The SEO book, yeah. Pinged them too. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I find that you got to look at what the free tool is and who's behind it. And like SEO book's been around for frickin' ever, so definitely go and play with those guys. They have a great reputation.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly why I use them, just because they're well known, they good tools, solid people. But anyway, and then oh, I got a phone call. Hold on.
Go answer the phone call.
It's actually just I have a hard line because up here they require I actually get a $5 a month discount on my internet if I have a hardline phone. So all I get is
Nice.
telemarketer calls. Like every 4 days I get a call and I just like talk to a telemarketer for a half hour for fun.
I signed up for a phone here, and I had fun. My wife got mad because people would call up and I'd answer and they'd be like, "Is so and so there?" And I'd be like, "No, I'm sorry, they stepped out about 6 months ago and haven't come back yet with my cigarettes." Is it And I'd start holding a conversation. And the person's like, "Well, I'd just be willing to talk to the homeowner," and I'd be like, "Well, we live in an apartment, but I want to be a future homeowner," and just
Yeah,
this big thing. And they're trying to get off the phone and they're trying to be nice, and I'm keeping them on because. Hey, I'm gonna flip script on you because I know exactly why this phone is ringing because I
yeah,
just got it. And nobody
exactly.
knows. I have told nobody that I have this phone. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
same thing
lasted
with
for
my
a month.
number. Like there's no other human that knows it besides me and my girlfriend, but yet it's on a list somewhere.
Exactly. No, I called up CenturyLink and said, CenturyLink, for $45 you can keep the phone. I'm glad I only bought a $10 phone at Walmart to plug into the wall because this is
Yeah.
done.
Oh
Shut
yeah.
it off.
Well, and then we have the ever popular Copyscape. Basically, if you do content for your sites, PBNs, anything like that, client stuff, duplicate content, throw it in Copyscape. It's awesome.
Now, do you
And
use the free or the paid?
I just use the free and I just throw it in there. I use Copyscape, either that or if Copyscape. Usually, what I do is I do the free Copyscape plus like another free tool just to kind of do a double run in case something's off. But I really don't.
Right.
I don't use paid tools as far as duplicate content or anything like that.
Awesome, awesome.
So, yep. Yeah. And then, of course, Pingdom, like you said, really cool stuff. This XMLsitemaps.com, again, it's just an old school type thing. If you need to generate a XML sitemap, they do it up to like several thousand pages. So that's pretty cool. At least they have a paid option, I think, for several thousand. It's free for like 500 pages. And then the structured data testing tool, I use that quite a bit. That's actually in Webmaster Tools. It lets you see what like your author stuff looks like, and which has changed lately. The pictures are no longer there, and all the other rich snippet type structured data reviews and things like that that you can have show up in the SERPs. So
Cool.
it's really cool to see what your page will look like when Google finally indexes it and realizes that you have more information than just a page. And of course, the free version of Ahrefs, whatever that is, just for some quick data. I do have a paid account, but this is a free list, so if you aren't paying for this tool, you can use it in Majestic and OpenSite Explorer. You know, OpenSite Explorer I don't think is as accurate as some of them, but it's got some good data. And expireddomains.net, of course, we talked about that I think a couple episodes ago. And then Keyword Planner. So pretty basic stuff, but just kind of my client SEO tool list that I use every day. And there's a bunch of other paid tools, but we'll get into those maybe some other day.
Oh, absolutely, and you know, there are paid tools out the ass.
Yeah.
And again, when people ask me, so what do you use for? Wow, I'm seeing me. Wow, that is beautiful. That is a good-looking guy there. I don't care what anybody says. Now, I think Byron just set me as his desktop image.
I did.
Now, I want you to there. I think your camera just shifted. Oh no, he left. He reset himself. So, well, yeah. See, he left and he came back. He is back in full effect.
I'm back.
I use multiple tools for multiple reasons. People are pulling the information's getting pulled from different areas, different speeds, different ways. Yesterday, I was ranking a video for a launch jack that happened today. I couldn't screen capture fast enough. We got page 1 rank for the main keyword in 3 minutes, and then
Wow.
I was just building out. Oh yeah, I got about 50 screenshots of different keywords, and yes, I was deleting history and cache and all of that stuff, using different browsers while I was doing it, and using a VPN to change locations.
Nice.
But I was pissed because I was looking for, at first, the main keyword that I was going. I was looking back around, and I was like, man, how did this guy get on page 1 and I'm wiped out? I'm gone. This is ridiculous. This is happening in a few hours. I was like 5 hours into my looking again, and it was just that the thumbnail was gone. I was the first result, but there was no thumbnail, and his had the thumbnail underneath me, and I'm like, oh, please give
So
me
that's
back
the
my
one
thumbnail.
that'll get clicked.
Well, yeah.
His.
Well, either his will be if they're looking for a video, or if somebody wants the first response, you know, or the first result, they're going to click on mine. Now, we all know that the first one gets the majority of the clicks, but video, when there's a thumbnail, also gets the majority of the clicks. So it's going to be a toss-up, and it's Han Fan, so you know everybody knows him. In the IM world, when it comes to launch jacking, he is one of the best. But yeah, him and I, you know, bouncing back and forth as number 1, number 2s, and then they took my thumbnail away, and I was mad because I'm going through pages and pages, going, where is my video? I mean, it couldn't have disappeared. And yeah, no, just the thumbnail.
Lovely.
So yeah, it's changing. I mean, it literally, Google's changing things long before we find out. You know, looking at old videos, you know, not even old videos, but videos from early 2014. You know, Matt Cutts is answering questions by not answering questions.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and they're not going to tell us what they're doing.
No.
They're not supposed to. Hey,
Well,
tell us how we can screw you out of more advertising dollars.
that's the thing with Matt Cutts, and I mean, I used to fall into the lie of the whole, create beautiful content and create content that has value, and yeah, that works if somebody lands on a sales page and you're using sales text trying to sell something, but Google is not this magical fairyland where if you just create valuable content that you're going to get free links. Matt Cutts makes it sound like you throw up a page with 500 words of great text and people are just they can't link to you fast enough. They're just gonna call you and email you and just link to you, and that's really a fantasy
Oh,
land.
it doesn't work. I hired writers. I was on Craigslist. I was outsourcing. I was copyscaping. And I was probably $2,000-$3,000 into just articles being created for content, and there was no traffic.
Yeah.
There was nothing. And I started putting up pages where I wanted the titles, didn't care anything about the content as long as it had never been used before, spun the crap out of it, didn't make sense, horrible English. Anybody who went on that site on those articles was like, what the hell is he talking about? Wow, this is so weird. And that was a bad thing. But
yeah,
all of a sudden, where I wanted the traffic to be, which was on the landing page on the front, was getting the traffic that I had wanted to do the right way. Well, the right way was the wrong way for me. I'm not telling you, and I don't think Byron's telling you to do anything illegal, immoral, or anti-Google, because they will punish the hell out of you. They will bitch slap your site back to Bing. I mean, you will be screwed.
Yeah. Well, what I am telling you to do is take what Matt Cutts says and take what Google says, and just remember that they are in the business to make money with paid search, and they are not necessarily in the business to help SEO guys to get clients and to rank #1 for various things in organic search. So something that works that an SEO guy's using is probably what you should try and do, rather than what Matt Cutts is talking about in some webmaster video. It's not necessarily gospel what Matt Cutts tells you.
Matt Cutts was, he was the lead for the spam department, not SEO.
Yeah.
And they don't have an SEO or Google SEO group. They have algorithm groups. They have things that they're adjusting these search results, SERP groups that are helping them, because again, they've gathered all this information and they've put it out there accessible to us to look at, and they get paid if people click on ads.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they make their money. That's what they're concerned about, guys. They are a for-profit business. And when somebody says, and this is something that goes with that quality content, I watched a movie the other day, laughed, enjoyed myself. I was on an emotional roller coaster. My wife walked into the room. What are you watching? Oh my God, I don't want to see that, and left. What I found as quality content, she found as a complete frickin' waste of 5 minutes of her time even being in the room with me. So quality content is based upon the viewer or reader. I find zero quality content when it comes to anything that has to do with basketball stats or game review. I'm not a basketball fan. But now if I read a show review about Godsmack's concert, even bad content, I'll read. That's the quality content I want, and people don't always want that on their end. So Google cannot tell me, and a robot especially cannot read a website and tell me if it's an article. It's math. It's not words that it's reading. It's doing mathematics in the back end to adjust where you should belong. So I'm not telling you to break the law or do anything crazy or put yourself and your site and your business in jeopardy, but don't listen to Google. They're not going to tell you how to do it. And go out there and do whatever you got to do to get to be number one.
Yep, exactly. Because in can
Your
you see my
camera, no, I see a picture of you, but your camera is like froze. No worries, man. This is a free service brought to you by Google. So, and there he is with the aviators, and he's back with movement.
All right, here we go. Anyway, what I was going to say is, like Frank said, is certain scenarios, the quality content might be an image. Certain scenarios, it might be a video or text, or you never know. But how's Google going to come to your page with a robot and determine that that content is relevant to what the person wanted to see? It's impossible. And so that's why things like keyword density and all that stuff is still a reality. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you need to use like keywords a certain percentage of the time, but Google algorithm is all based on math. So keyword density is a real thing. They look at the titles, they look at all that stuff, but now there's over optimization, so you should use less and you should use synonyms and all that. So if you want to rank number one in Google as far as like a regular page is concerned, it's all a math formula, and it's all a catching up with what works and what doesn't, and it's really not a quality content per se. It's a what works type scenario. You could have a page with an image and have good links to it, and it'll rank number one, but it might have like one sentence or no sentence of, I have pages that have just a video or image, and they rank just fine, and they don't even have content.
Yeah, no, that's I've said I have a site ranking number one, multiple keywords across for a very expensive service. And it's literally H1 tag, bold, underlined, H2, H3, and it's literally that keyword on the page with a picture that the alt tags are also the keyword. So, I mean, it's literally nothing. There is no quality content. It's four of the same. It's so over-optimized. But it was done on purpose just to prove that when Google says you will be taken out of the SERP results, I'm not. I'm actually ranking above guys who have clients that spend $10,000, $20,000 a month to try to figure out how to beat me, and it's a picture. It's a picture I made, too. I mean, it's a horrible picture. Scrawling crap drawing on it that just says rent me, and people are like, well, you'll never get a client like that. Well, actually I have, because all I've had to do is look at them and say, that's how you get the number one.
Yeah.
Now,
exactly.
We also wanted to build you a quality site. So if we know how to get you to number one, quality site's easy. I can hire web designers and, WordPress gurus and professional writers and artists and all that. We can do that all day long. But getting you to number one is what you want. Mm-hmm. So exactly. now that we're number one, let's do something.
Yeah, and that's what I tell clients too. Once you're number one, then we go in, then we edit your conversion for conversions. We add call to actions. We make it look pretty, because if traffic's going to the page, then obviously you want people to either call the client or submit a form or something like that, and that's when you go and make the good sales pitches, the buttons and the forms and all that. So rankings is kind of the first thing, and cleaning up the site and making it pretty, it can actually be secondary most of the time.
Well, I find that I got a call from a guy. He's new, and I mean he kind of blew me away. He contacted me and he goes, listen, I was referred to you. I need SEO, or I need work done to my website. And I'm like, okay, I really don't do design and stuff like that. I can connect you. And he goes, no, I want you to do whatever it takes to do this. And I went, really? He goes, I need marketing, I need SEO, I need links, I need traffic. I know all of this, and I just want you to handle it. And I went, okay, what's the budget? You know,
Yeah.
how far into this are we going? Because you're saying all the pretty words I want to hear. Now I want to hear how much we're working with, and you
$50
know,
a month.
exactly. I want the world, and I've got $20 for beer. You know, and it's like,
Exactly.
no, that's not going to work. No, but you know, and we're negotiating it out and stuff. But he knows that it's going to take an investment. But like I said, he's new, and you know, he had money set aside for radio spots and everything else. And I said, well, let's go have some coffee, maybe dinner, and sit down and really map this whole thing out, because your industry, you're not going to get a whole lot of return on investment from a radio commercial, you know,
Yeah.
because where they're at, they're in an emergency situation. They're not waiting for the radio to return with his commercial. You know, it's like, no, we need to be
Yeah.
everywhere else. So, you know, and it's awesome. But yeah, he came in knowing what he needed in a generic sense. I need to be there. I need the traffic. I need the SEO, and I need a professional to handle it. He's not going to try to do it himself. And because it's a blank slate, we can get him the rankings faster, and then start adding his content and videos and, you know, pictures of
Yeah.
his vans and all that fun stuff. But yeah, no,
I'm
I mean, it's easier that way. I think it's when you've got to go and spend a month or two or three cleaning up past mistakes from either the client or a really bad SEO company, you know, and you
Yeah.
go in, you go, listen, I want to work with you. Let me see where we're starting at. And they go, why? It's like, because, dude, I can't find you on the internet, and I'm typing in your URL.
Yeah.
Something
That's
happened.
In fact, I got a client about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and that's what it was. He mentioned something about a previous SEO company, and they did some things, and he was gone off of the 7-pack, and he was gone off of, like, luckily he was still on like page 11 or 12, so he wasn't totally gone. But I told him, I said, that's pretty bad, you know, and if you're not attached to this URL, we should really redo it. So we got a new domain, we redoing the site, and you know, he luckily understood. But that SEO company just went in and just butchered the anchor text. It was like 2007 all over again. I was looking at the profile, so pretty crazy. But
Well,
you know
it's
that
some of these people. They get, and again, I use tools. I love tools. Tools are necessary to help automate your business, even your SEO company. But just because you have SE Nuke doesn't mean you have to use it every day, all day, blowing up a client site, because they get ranked number one. It happens Friday afternoon. The client is excited because you called them up and said, check it out, you're number one. Monday morning, they call you and go, where the hell did my website go? We're down. Something broke. Something's gone. No. Google just realized that not 2.5 million people want a link to Charlie's coffee shop
yeah.
for no reason. You know, I mean, there wasn't a big coffee foundation. They didn't win an award, but there's 2.5 million links that say coffee shop, you know, and Google doesn't like that. So they
Yep.
take you away, and now you've got months, years to fix it. So buy a new one, start from scratch, because you
Yeah.
just scorched the earth.
Sometimes it sucks. A lot of these companies, it's like their brand domain, you know, and it really sucks if you got to add something like add your state at the end, or change it up, or God forbid add a hyphen or something. But you know, it's a reality.
Don't fall in love with the URL. You know, and again, you know, when I was starting out, wanted the exact match domain, you wanted what people were searching for. It was cool. Now, literally, man, I'm going into auction sites and I don't care what the hell it looks like, sounds like. I can't even pronounce it. Some of them are 5 letters, some of them are 55 letters. I don't care, man. If it's a good domain, I'm like, we don't care what the URL is because we want the search term.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And especially like some of the stuff you were talking about with the redirecting to videos and all that. I mean, that you definitely don't need to care there, but it's pretty cool what you can do with that.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny. So any of you out there that work for an agency, sit down with your boss and tell them, I got an idea. Maybe we should do this better. Spend a little more time. Don't blow up stuff. Don't outsource everything. Love your clients. If you don't love your clients, you can call 702-514-0433 and ask for Frank. I will forward to Byron because I don't know Byron's phone number offhand. Half of everybody that you send to us, we appreciate it, but love them, man. They're not just a dollar. They can be family. It's
Exactly.
It's a kumbaya moment.
In fact, it's on a hangout sometime and talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, no, and that's and I want people to. I brought up that was something I wanted to talk to you about, Byron. We had some questions, and I was thinking we should do a hardcore Q&A webinar, hangout webinar, at a different time, but like literally invite the world in. We got a new plug-in to play with for the site, so we can set it up and everybody can come hang out on the h1tags.com once we get that frickin' thing all up and running. And literally just have a huge Q&A from people who watch or want to challenge us and want to call the bullshit flag on us, which is fine, guys. I mean, I'm constantly learning. I parrot a lot of what I hear after I test it. So if somebody says this isn't working, I go out and try to prove that it is. My first passion is video, but I knew I had to get in the SEO game if I wanted money. So that's where I'm at. I've got a few years experience. I make a couple of bucks here and there online. Byron's available, and literally come in and because I hate instant messaging. That's why I respond. I'm not trying to be rude. I just try to respond in less than 5 words because I don't have interest in typing. Wow. Byron disappeared like it was like a flash. It was like poof, gone.
I'm back.
So the Q&A thing I thought would be really cool, and we'll notify everybody and we'll say we'll have like a sign up so everybody can get in on it and give you about a week's notice or whatever. But I wanted to know, would you be down to that?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I love the idea of that. Ask us anything. Ask us about situations that we've been in with clients and tools and technologies and products, courses, anything. I'm definitely down for it all. So I'd really like that.
Just don't ask about my ex-wife, okay? It's a sore subject still.
All right, well, I'll try and hold my tongue on that one.
Yeah, no, I mean it's something that while we're going over show, we come up with like these free tools and talking about something like the Cloudflare announcement and everything, and there's so much happening, so much going on. We're never going to run out of things, but I am so interested in knowing what the challenge is for a new guy or a new shop. I know everybody's going to say, 1, how do you find a client? 2, how do you service the client? 3, how do you keep the client? And the most important is, what do you charge the client?
Yeah.
those
And that's
those
something.
and those are things that we have answers for, but it's so different to the situation. You're in Idaho.
Yeah.
That's totally different than Phoenix market, which is different than in New York or in LA, and Alaska.
Yep.
Plus what niche are they in? How far along are they? What investments do they have? How far do they want to run with this? Have they been spending money? Um, do they do CPC? Do they do pay per click? Any of this stuff? Um,
Well, and as
so
far
that,
as the price goes, it's even goes as far as you're talking to them on the phone and judging by their tone of voice and their situation and all that. I definitely judge pricing based on every single unique situation. I just throw out a number or, negotiate down or up or meet in the middle type thing. So that is still one of my challenges, but I'm a hell of a lot better than I used to be, but the price negotiation is still, there's always that doubt in my mind that if I throw out like $4,000, they're just going to hang up on me. But then, of course, we work down usually quite a bit, but that's just how it works, because then there's those clients who are like, oh, well, how about three? And then you're like, well, absolutely.
well, yeah, and I have different industries, different clients, different niches, cost different amounts because it's a competition. It's based on the competition. A window washer is a window washer, and I'll work with any of them.
Yeah.
But if the guy wants to be a commercial window washer or a home, residential, that's a different market. What's your competition look like? I've got to go in. I've got to see what everything's going on to. A lot of my videos, they go, well, what do you charge to do a video? Well, am I shooting it? Am I building this from scratch? Do I need a film team? Are we doing this on site? But I know ranking, I'm doing $3,500.
Yeah.
If you want your video on page one for your thing, it's $3,500, and that's the flat fee. Whoa, can you do it for 100? No,
No.
no. I don't turn my computer on for $100, man. Not when your client is worth $15,000. Now again, going back to the window washer, I'm not going to ask him for $3,500 to put a video together that I'm going to use my video sources and stuff, and maybe we can get a better response from a PowerPoint, and a small little razzle dazzle. That's not the budget he's into. It's going to take him a year to make that $3,500 back. So that's a totally different, price thing. And hell, I've been known to throw up some just for shits and giggles, just to see if we could do it.
Yeah.
And then I turn around and I sell them the leads, and I tell them that, look, I'm going to put this up. It's mine. I own it, but you'll get all the phone calls. And I'll send you a bill. Let's go $10-15 a phone call.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like it works. All right, great.
Yeah, that's something that I'm really interested in. I mean, I do still 90% of the client SEO, but I have a couple lead gen sites out there, and the whole renting thing and all that is very cool. But that's that's an easy way too. We can get into the whole episode on this, but that's an easy way to get a client, in my opinion. You rank a video, you rank a page, you have the leads, you have the traffic coming in, and then you just either yourself or you hire a salesman, and they keep calling these people and saying, hey, look, we're getting this lead volume already. What's a lead worth to you? And you work out some per lead deal or a charge per month, like $1,000 a month or something, and all of a sudden you've got a client. And then if they cancel, you just move on to the next person who wants those leads.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
you call the next guy in the phone book or in the 7-pack or next guy on Google, and say, hey, wow, is she home?
No, Munchkins are home.
Oh, wow, little ones. Those aren't
Yeah.
yours.
Nope, they're not mine.
I know. You're not you're not down with the kids yet.
Not quite, not quite.
You better put a ring on it, man. Beyonce ain't gonna. She ain't telling her girls around the world to get a ring on it for no reason,
I
man.
wake up in the morning and that song is playing as I wake up. I think it's some subliminal trick that she's trying to, do to me.
Dude, yeah. I mean, hell, you better pick up that hint. Just it's gonna make life a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
What you do is you go find like a jeweler or somebody who can sell you ring boxes, just blanks,
Oh,
just empty ones, and then like put it somewhere and put like a note in there that says, "Don't touch my stuff," and with no ring in it, And when she opens it, she's gonna be like, "What is this note for?" And you just be like, "Oh, I mean, why are you going through my stuff?" And you just have them everywhere. And then when it comes time that you want to knock it out of the park, then
yeah.
you pull out the one with the ring, and she'll be like, "Oh my God, you got me." No.
I could hide a ring box in like the crawl space area of my house in the corner, and she'd sniff it out.
Oh, of
So
course, she's a female, dude.
yeah.
They know that stuff just like they check your web history when you don't think they check. Or oh,
Oh, it's
honey,
scary.
I picked up your phone. Why? Well, it was ringing. That's why I love my wife. My phone rings, her phone rings. She won't move. It's not important, and I'm not doing anything wrong, so she doesn't check my internet stuff. I mean, she's like, I know where you live, I know where you work, I know who you talk to. She's like, I don't have to check up on you. You give yourself away anyways, and I'm like, I know, I'm stupid like that. Well,
Yeah.
listen, man, I know that you now have company, and it seems like you have a play date.
Yeah, well, they woke up from my strategic napping time, so have
Oh,
risen.
they
Yeah.
have risen. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. How old?
3 and 3 and 4, so there's twins involved.
Nice. God, I don't want to ever have twins. Mine are 19, 20, 15, and 12.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Painful still, I bet.
No, no, no.
No?
No. Married, on their own, living
That's good.
life, loving
Cool.
things. Yeah, no, that's the. You raise them independently, and they kind of take care of themselves. They just come to you when they want money, or
Yeah.
if you're a solid, honest parent, they need an opinion from a not their friend, but somebody who will be honest and not blow smoke up their asses. That's how it goes, man. But listen, I'm raising our viewers, and I say that lovingly, raising our viewers like I raise my children, with a nice, strong hand and a hug. Um, because I'm not going to blow smoke up anybody's ass. There's no reason to. It's not profitable, and I don't need anything from you. That's why we haven't asked you for a dollar for anything, and it's going to stay that way at least for the remainder of this week. It is Friday.
It is.
There was a little joke in there. But listen, you got anything else you want to bitch about or bring up?
I don't think so. I think that, it's cool to do stuff like this where we kind of throw out things that we use every day, and I think we should put a paid, once we get to that point, we'll do a paid tools hangout. But I think we had a good time today. I don't have anything. I'm just excited to kind of relax on a nice Friday. It's finally sunny today. It's not thunderstorming anymore, so I'm gonna catch some sun rays probably.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. The sun is shining as it usually does in Phoenix, and the weather dropped. The temperature is bottoming out at 106 today, so
Oh,
I'll be.
that's frigid.
Oh yeah, no, after 112, 113, yeah, it's a nice drop. I'll be taking the pup for a walk,
Sweet.
and yeah, no, we're gonna put as soon as the website's up and running and we've got that strategically set up, we'll have resources and we'll have all this stuff that you guys can go and see what we play with. We'll have videos showing us, effing around or whatever. But listen, Byron, Friday, it's the end of the week, man. Go hang with the kiddies. Enjoy the
Yeah.
weekend.
You
I
too, man.
will. I'll talk to you later, but I will see you on Monday.
Okay.
And for everybody watching, drop us a comment, like us, plus one us, share us, hate us, subscribe, unsubscribe. Do what you're going to do. Enjoy your weekends. I'm Frank Schwartz. That is,
Byron Lee.
and this is the SEO show. We're out, guys.